Welcome to the Republicans' White Pride rally disguised as a congressional hearing. It might be uncomfortable for some people on this committee to hear about the true history of America.
As part of this white supremacy document that your organization has promoted, objectivity as a core and defining aspect of white supremacy culture. Do you think that it's the goal of the Smithsonian Institution to promote white supremacy culture?
Back to your question, no, we're not promoting any ideology.
Does it concern you that your goal is objectivity, one of your goals is objectivity, and your mass action toolkit references objectivity as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture?
It's not our toolkit.
It is your toolkit. You've been promoting it for quite some time.
Ma'am, we strive to represent all Americans.
You strive to represent queer, pedophiles, indoctrination, grooming of kids at an American History Museum. And it sounds like you're proud of it. You won't answer the questions, probably because you're ashamed. And as a woman, I really can't believe you will sit here today and you can't even admit that sexual imagery, like this behind me, they tell me, my staff tells me, this little trinket around the penis, this is BDSM, in a setting where children are walking through. That's disgusting.
So RuPaul's Drag Race, which is the upper...
It's a man. RuPaul is a man who dresses like a woman, literally.
Correct.
Literally, RuPaul will tell you that he's a man that dresses up like a woman. He is a drag queen. He goes by male pronouns. Yo, I'm JustinFREAKIN. Right-wingers keep trying to mock me for my sub and view count on YouTube, so I guess I'll be a good content creator and do what the algorithm gods demand and tell you to like the video. Or dislike it for all I care. I know I'm not a very likable personality. But if you do enjoy the vibes around here, be a good subby and seduce that subscribe button. And if you want to find out what that news be doing Sunday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific on the Troll Patrol Live, then be sure to hit that bell the way I would hit the bong. Representative Jasmine Crockett welcoming us to the Republicans' White Pride rally, she says.
Ms. Crockett from Texas, you're recognized, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Welcome to the Republicans' White Pride rally disguised as a congressional hearing. It might be uncomfortable for some people on this committee to hear about the true history of America, and I hate that for them, but facts are facts. And it's a fact that there is a violent, exclusionary, discriminatory, sexist, and racist part of American history, where our indigenous populations were forcibly displaced from their land, where thousands of black people were unjustly lynched, where black people were denied the right to vote, and they still trying to do it today, where women needed their husband's permission to open a bank account, where people with disabilities were routinely excluded from schools, workplaces, and public life, where 4 little black girls were murdered by the KKK at the 16th Street Baptist Church. And a lot of this wasn't that long ago. In fact, 3 of those little girls would be 77 and 1 would be 74. More than 40 members of Congress serving right now would be older than them. Ruby Bridges, who was the first black child to desegregate an all-white school, is only 71 years old. More than 100 members of Congress serving right now are older than her. So attacks on the Smithsonian or any other institution that's willing to tell the true history of America is not only an attempt to rewrite history, it's an attempt to erase history. So Dr. Blight, if Republicans are going to ban books, penalize schools and universities, attack museums, if states continue to change curriculum, where do Americans go to learn about the complicated, sometimes racist and violent parts of American history?
Let's do a podcast.
Thank you for the question.
That's where people are getting their info from now.
Same institutions, and we have to keep fighting to preserve what we are doing in those institutions. They have to keep going to public schools. They have to keep going to their public libraries. They have to keep going to the great Smithsonian. Look, the purpose of history is to enlighten us, inspire us, trouble us, bother us, sometimes make us angry. I find it hard to believe that a young person could go through the Museum of American history and not come out at least inspired with the single most important thing, a sense of the past, a sense of history. Americans have to keep going to those places they trust. We have to keep those institutions trustworthy.
Thank you so much. In fact, that takes me to Dr. Hartig. They accuse you and the Smithsonian of sowing division in this country. However, before the White House deleted it, the Departments of Justice and Homeland Security found the biggest domestic threat to the United States is violent white supremacists. So I have a couple of questions for you. First, to the best of your knowledge, has the museum ever been linked to any violent act that has occurred in the United States or against the U.S. government?
Thank you, ma'am. Not to the best of my knowledge.
I don't think many of these white supremacists can even read, but to the best of your knowledge, can you identify a single artifact in your museum that would divide the country?
To the best of my knowledge, ma'am, no. I hope that they unite the country through a shared understanding of our past.
Do you think, or do you ask the political affiliation of any of your employees before you hire them?
Absolutely not, ma'am. It's against the Hatch Act of 1939.
I'm glad that you know the law, but nevertheless. Do you ask if they've donated to political campaigns?
Absolutely not, ma'am. It's against the Hatch Act of 1939.
We need a briefing in this building, but nevertheless, do you only hire non-white people?
No, ma'am.
In fact, almost 60% of the Smithsonian's total workforce
look how
is men,
white
and
she
more than
is.
50% is white. 90% of Smithsonian employees making senior level pay are white, and 60% of them are men. I don't understand this fetish that these white guys with fragile egos have with trying to feel oppressed. It reminds me of the same people MLK was referring to when he said, quote, "They believe that American society is essentially hospitable to fair play and to steady growth towards a middle-class utopia embodying racial harmony, but unfortunately, this is a fantasy of self-deception and comfortable vanity." I want to go back real quick, though, Dr. Blight, because you talked about the World Cup. The World Cup that captured the imaginations of the entire world when they saw all of these people of color that was playing for all these teams. And ultimately, if you recall, the last two teams, it was Argentina and Spain. And it seemed like the vast majority of the world was rooting for
the colonizer, amazingly enough.
Actually, against Argentina, right? And why was that? Just give me an explanation if you could guess. If you'll just let them finish the answer.
Spain had the best team. Maybe that's why they were rooting for them.
There's also a racist history that exists as it relates
Mr.
to
Byer,
Argentina.
you're recognized.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Crockett.
Yeah, they gave refuge to Nazis after World War II. Clinically, Ferret King, welcome in, friends. I wonder who Crockett could have been talking about when she was talking about white supremacists with fragile egos who need to feel victimized. Let's hear from Representative Brandon Gill of Texas.
Mr. Gill from Texas, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for holding this hearing and to the witnesses.
Hold on. I want to hit the content warning. For self-righteous indignation. That's what I'm assuming we're going to see a lot of here. Some self-righteous indignation from Representative Gill.
Taking the time to travel all the way out here. Director Hartig, thank you for being here. Would you say that the goal of history, even if it's not properly carried out, would you say that the goal of history is to be objective?
Thank you, sir, for the question. You know, I think that there are many goals of history, and certainly as you collect, as we do, examine evidence, create
Is
scholarship.
objectivity one of the goals of history?
We strive to be objective and nonpartisan and not based on any ideology.
So it's one of the goals. Doesn't that seem a little bit concerning? It certainly does to me, because as part of this white supremacy document that your organization has promoted objectivity is a core and defining aspect of white supremacy culture. Do you think that it's the goal of the Smithsonian Institution to promote white supremacy culture?
Sir, do you mind sharing with me which document?
It's white supremacy culture right here. This is part of the mass action toolkit that your organization has promoted for several years now under your leadership.
I have no idea what he was trying to say. Do you guys?
Are you promoting a white supremacy culture at the Smithsonian?
Am I promoting a white?
Ma'am, is this a difficult question?
No, sir, I'm just thinking about the mass action toolkit. We didn't develop it, but back to your question, no, we're not promoting any ideology.
Does it concern you that your goal is objectivity, one of your goals is objectivity, and your mass action toolkit references objectivity as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture?
It's not our toolkit.
It is your toolkit. You've been promoting it for quite some time.
We did not come up with the toolkit, sir.
But you've been promoting it.
It is used as a reference, I believe, probably in 2019, 2020.
Yes, under your leadership, it has been used as a reference. Is Mickey Mouse racist?
Mickey Mouse is not racist.
It's not racist. According to the Smithsonian Institution, one of your exhibits referenced Mickey Mouse as representing, quote, vestiges of longstanding traditions of blackface minstrelsy. Would you describe that as racist?
No, the historical trajectory of the origins of Mickey Mouse tie directly
So Mickey Mouse is rooted in racism. Is that your testimony?
No, sir, it's rooted in minstrelsy.
Minstrelsy, and you don't think that blackface minstrelsy is racist?
It had certain obvious racial overtones that have been well documented.
Do you think that that's problematic, that Mickey Mouse also has those racial overtones?
It's not for me to determine what's problematic. It's determined to me what's accurate.
Is that right? Is it important to be polite?
Excuse me, sir?
Is it important to be polite?
Yes, sir.
It's also interesting because the same mass action toolkit that your organization has been promoting references politeness as a defining characteristic of white supremacy culture. Ma'am, are you a white supremacist?
No, sir.
You're not. Can you help me square why your organization says that being polite is part of being a white supremacist?
I'm assuming it doesn't.
I'm not exactly familiar with that passage of the Mass Action Toolkit, which is not
I can show you the
one that we
passage right
developed.
here.
I don't, pardon me?
I said I just read you the passage from it.
And then your question was, sir?
We're going to move on. What is Latina power?
Latina
What
power.
is Latino power?
Latina power.
Latina power would be the
Shakira. If you had J-Lo's love, that's Latina power.
the forces
It's when your hips don't lie.
Latina.
Do you think that it's appropriate for the Smithsonian Institution to sell Latina power paraphernalia? Hats, mugs, other things that say Latina power?
I believe that the merchandise our store sells
I'm asking you if it's appropriate.
tries to reflect the richness of the communities.
So your testimony is that it is appropriate?
Those are your words, sir.
I'm asking you, is it appropriate to sell
Why wouldn't it be appropriate?
paraphernalia? It's a yes or no question.
I don't have control over what is sold
I'm
in our
asking you if it's
stores.
appropriate. I didn't ask you if you have control over it. Is
I
it
understood you,
appropriate?
sir. Yeah.
Yes or no?
Again, we strive to represent all Americans and including
Is it
in our
appropriate, yes or
merchandise.
no?
We strive to represent all Americans in our museums, including in our merchandise.
Is that right? My
Yes.
time's up.
Thank you, sir.
That was Representative Brandon Gill of Texas. That's who voted for him. Anonymously. Welcome in, friend. Lenny, good to see you. Anybody else sneak in here on me? Very, very stupid. Drake, good to see you, friend. That was just meaningless dribble. I think the head of the Smithsonian handled it well. Let's see how she does. against my GOP mommy. Nancy Mace coming after the director of the Smithsonian.
Ms. Nice from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Hartig, how many children visited the National Museum of American History last year?
Hi, good morning, ma'am.
Answer the question, how many kids?
Good morning, ma'am. Since we don't charge,
Are you the director of the museum?
I am, ma'am.
Okay, and you don't know how many people visited the museum?
I don't know. I'm kind of liking the look. She looks kind of mean, kind of evil. Looking over the top of her glasses there. She got a little of the natural gray going on, looking nice. The hair looks all nice, lightly tousled. Is that the right word? Kind of sad the Chiron's not there. She seems to be showing a little cleavage.
Museum last year?
2 million.
How many of those were children?
Ma'am, I don't have
even
those
know.
exact figures
Okay.
for you, but I'm happy to
Do you
take
agree that
back.
educating children about American history is a core duty of the museum? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
And are images of sexual fetishes appropriate for children? Yes or no?
So, ma'am,
It's a simple yes or no. Or is
understand.
sexual imagery, provocative sexual imagery, appropriate for kids? Yes or no?
ma'am, we strive to represent all Americans.
You strive to represent
fullness of
queer,
American-
pedophiles, indoctrination, grooming of kids at an American history museum. And it sounds like you're proud of it. You won't answer the questions, probably because you're ashamed. And as a woman, I really can't believe you will sit here today and you can't even admit that sexual imagery, like this behind me, they tell me, my staff tells me, this little trinket around the penis, this is BDSM, in a
What?
in a setting where children are walking through. That's disgusting.
Okay, so the examples are the Dixie Chicks on the front of Entertainment Weekly. That looks to be RuPaul, possibly? And I have no idea what she's saying. This is some sort of penis torture device. No idea. What?
Like this behind me, they tell me, my staff tells
Not
me.
only is she saying that she is showing the thing that she says is inappropriate, she's shown her own ass on the House floor. And I'm not saying that figuratively. She literally showed her bare ass in a committee hearing one time. I have a video about it. I have pictures saved of it too.
Sexual imagery, like this behind me, they tell me, my staff tells me, this little trinket around the penis, this is BDSM.
Yeah, probably something that was used on
In a
slaves.
setting where children are walking through. That's disgusting. Like, what kind of message are you trying to send to kids with BDSM imagery? What are you trying to tell kids? Are you sexualizing children? Is that what your motive is for the museum? Why?
So that specific two-piece.
Do you know how many
item-
kids get raped by adults every year in this country? This kind of thing, when you are dressing men up as women, drag queens, you're putting this kind of crap in front of kids, sexualizes them and makes them more vulnerable to people that want to rape them or abuse them. Or when we have men and women's settings that want to do harm to women. You talked about the girlhood exhibit, and you didn't want to answer the chairman's questions earlier, but it was a diary featuring a 6-year-old that reads, everybody was talking about getting boobs in their period. I pray to God every night for my penis to grow. Dr. Hartig, can you tell me, look me in the eye and tell me that that belongs in an exhibit for kids?
Ma'am, Girlhood, It's Complicated was not an exhibit designed for children. and
I know,
the
you had the
diary-
little disclaimer thing, which is sort of
The
a
diary was of a 13-year-old going through puberty.
Okay. Do you think that's an appropriate thing to put in an American History Museum where there are children walking through? We're talking about American history.
Right, so Girlhood, It's Complicated, it's
Okay, I'm moving on because you
Lord.
just...
Because you don't want the answer.
You spent on getting prepped for this hearing. They did a good job because you're filibustering and not answering a single question from a single Republican. Today, do you believe that men can become women?
Ma'am, as the director of the museum, that's not relevant in this case.
It's very relevant. You've got men dressed up as women, and you have them on displays in front of kids. Do you
Those are drag queens.
women, yes or no?
So RuPaul's Drag Race, which is the upper...
It's a man. RuPaul is a man who dresses like a woman, literally.
Literally, RuPaul will tell you that he's a man that dresses up like a woman. He is a drag queen. He goes by male pronouns. Idiot. Fuck.
In front of kids. Do you think men can become women, yes or no?
So RuPaul's Drag Race, which is the upper...
It's a man. RuPaul is a man who dresses like a woman, literally.
I wish RuPaul would slap the shit out of you.
Woman, Dr. Hartig?
As a director and as a historian, it's not my opportunity.
You sexualize the American History Museum. So this is a fair question. What is a woman?
So at the museum...
What is a woman?
We strive to represent and not categorize all Americans.
Okay, I have another question for you. There's a glossary at the museum that informs visitors that while American culture traditionally recognizes 2 genders, other countries recognize 3 or more.
Yeah.
So,
including natives.
This morning, how many genders are there?
Ma'am, which glossary?
This is a display, and that has a glossary that says other countries recognize 3 or more genders. So I would like you to enlighten me today. You're the director of the American History Museum who's sexualized
Male, female, other.
things in front of kids. I want to know, I want to ask
How hard is
how
that?
many genders are there?
So first of all, I'm happy to get
How
back
many?
to you about the glossary.
How many genders are there?
Again, Nancy, there are people born with 2 sex organs, no sex organ, and everything in between. Men born with penises so small that doctors mistake them for clitorises. Women born with clitorises so big that doctors mistake them for penises. Gender is a scale, and there are people that don't fit neatly inside of the box that you want to put them in. There are people born with female genitalia and male chromosomes, male genitalia and female chromosomes. There's people born with several different types of chromosomal disorders, hormonal disorders that make them identify as things that might be outside of the gender binary. And for some reason, you fuckers are focused on this when it matters not about anything. And you don't even have the courtesy to educate yourself on the topic. It's baffling to me.
Kids. I want to know.
But you know what you're doing. You know you're doing a demagogue.
So first of all, I'm happy to get
How
back
many?
to you about the glossary.
How many genders are there?
Sure.
And what are they?
I'm not sure which glossary you're speaking of.
Of course, I know that you don't. You know exactly what this hearing was about today. One of your exhibits at the American History Museum says sometimes gender isn't revealed at birth. So when is gender revealed?
It's true.
So
When was your gender revealed to you, Dr. Hartig?
So I don't really think that's relevant to the
It is relevant. You have a display at the American History Museum talking about gender isn't always revealed at birth. So when was your gender revealed?
So since I am a PhD and...
I wasn't done yet, but I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mace.
Yeah, the director of the Smithsonian handled this so incredibly well.
Thanks for calling the Charleston office of Congresswoman Nancy Mace. Our normal office hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. If you'd like a member of our staff to call you back, please leave a message with your name, phone number, email, and address. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hey, Congresswoman Mace, it's JustinFREAKIN from the Troll Patrol again. I am incredibly disappointed after watching your clip from your hearing earlier today with the director of the Smithsonian. What did we say last night? We can reform you and get you elected as a Democrat, and have all the liberals love you if you accept that trans people are people and you shouldn't be, denigrating them in a congressional hearing, and you come around and do the human thing and start promoting trans rights. We can rehabilitate your image, and then people won't hate you anymore. You have no constituency in the Republican Party. They despise you, and you will never get elected again unless you follow my advice. And I'm being genuine. I take up for trans people, and I think I can explain to you why you're wrong about trans people. I think I can get through to you. So give me a call back, 917-830-4359. This is something we can discuss over dinner. I'll take you to a nice dinner. We can talk about it. I can explain why you're wrong on trans people, and then we can rehabilitate your image and get you elected. I promise. 100%. And it's the only course of action you've got if you want to remain in the public eye. I assure you. So give me a call back. JustinFREAKIN, Troll Patrol, myfreaking@gmail.com. Thank you, Congresswoman Mace. Mwah.
Like one hit and hit one back on one more clip. So we hit the set an alert when that shit goes live. Social fucking support and hit subscribe. Light one up and take a hit. He does no harm, but it takes no shit. He's the last one standing when the ship is sinking. Let's take another rip for JustinFREAKIN.
Light one up, tip one back. I'm JustinFREAKIN.
Not high enough for this shit.